Hey, today we selected captains, and our guys, vote for that and choose those. Tyler Lockett's going to be the captain on offense. Um, Beautiful recognition for a guy that's always been a leader in this program and always been at the front of it, and he's got the wisdom, and they recognize it, and they really listen to him. On defense, Quandre Diggs. Guy that's been a leader in this program. Again, same thing. Been part of it. Big voice, big character. Terrific football player that guys really look up to. And then speaking of look up to in a big way, Al Woods up front. Really just brings all the voice and the stature and the work habits and the ethic that you want to lead, and so it's great choices there. And we return Nick Ballore on special teams, just an obvious pick. He's just everything to everybody, and play style, mentality, all of that. So really nice job of guys figuring it out and picking those guys.
Quandre, he was the guy who was a captain before he came here in Detroit. Was that something when you were evaluating him that kind of stood out?
Yeah, no, we were well aware of that at the time. Figuring that means a lot. We didn't know how they selected him, but figuring that the team probably had a lot to say about that. I thought that was really a valuable part of just understanding who he was when I didn't know him at all.
How's Sidney Jones?
Sidney's practicing. He's ready to go, and we'll go one day at a time, and make sure that each day is a good day and all that. But he's very hopeful, and we all are that he's going to be ready to play. You'll have to wait and see.
Obviously, pretty familiar with the quarterback and the opponent this week. How do you sort of approach that with Russell and kind of the hype that's going to be coming up with all this?
Well, I hope I do a really good job. I do have as much information as you could have. I've never probably known a player any closer than knowing Russ and his quarterbacking and his play and mentality and all of that. He knows me too. He knows us. So we'll see what happens.
In the past, you've talked about having to have some talk with guys who are playing their old teams. Do you have to do that with Drew, Shelby, Noah this week?
It's absolutely on the docket. Yeah. Same for all the obvious reasons. Sometimes guys can carry whatever. Some of the history and at times it can fuel guys well, but not knowing that, I want us to take it like it's the next opponent as best we can, so the guys can perform like they're capable and not get distracted. Any distractions affect your play, and so we don't need anything that's not going to help us.
How's Ken Walker coming along?
He was working some today. He's running and he's catching some balls and doing stuff. We'll see what happens. This is an injury that's kind of unpredictable in the recovery and all that. He's doing pretty well though. He's got to be able to tolerate it. And fortunately, we're playing Monday nights. We get an extra day and all that, and we'll see.
You guys just haven't dealt with the player.
Matter of fact, I forgot. Dave, I'm not responding about it. That's the last injury report. Thanks.
Shelby and Noah, how have they kind of fit into things since you got them?
They're really experienced football players. You can tell, even though he's still a young man, he comes in, has real good sense for the game, and can do everything. Natural player. Shelby's been around. He's a workhorse. Been very productive in games, and has done a nice job. Shows his flexibility, understands principles and stuff like that. So he's right in the rotation to play.
Hey, going back to Tyler Lockett, the value of a player like that for the organization and also other players, somebody that comes in, does it right, and stays with that. He's now captain.
He's always been that guy. He's always done everything that you would want him to do, in all ways. And he's been a great football player. And he's, I've said to him already, just today, that you don't have to do anything different because you've been, chosen captain, because you already lead. You've been a leader for years around here, and I don't want him to think that changes anything, because it doesn't. He's been a marvelous Seahawk, and he's been rewarded for that, and he's rewarded us with tremendous play forever, and so we're really lucky to have him on our team and have him be recognized by the team. It's a good statement in both directions that he's the captain, and they realize he should be.
What more? Sylvia, Noah, how important were they when you guys made the trade? I mean, kind of targeting those guys.
It was all a part of it. We're trying to find guys that could be starters. And would play for us right away. When you get draft picks, it's hard to know, and that worked out great. But you want guys that can play. We did.
You talk all the time about every week being in championship week. Is there? I mean, this couldn't be a bigger test than that, could it? Just all the factors going in this game.
It's why I like this game, this matchup, and this challenge for us to make sure that we understand the principles and how you deal with it, so that this game isn't any different than any other game. But yet it's the biggest game we'll ever play. It's the only one we got, and so it is championship game time, and the setting will be that. The players will feel that and sense that with all of the the build up to the game and the Monday night and the whole thing, and we need to deal with it really well and handle it really well. That means that we play like we're capable, and that's a lot harder than it seems. And we've counted on a consistency in these settings for a long time, and I'm one of the things that helps us is I think our mentality, and guys know how to handle it and they'll deal with it well. We'll see. This is a great challenge. They got the same challenge we got. We got to do it better than them.
What did you think when you saw this was going to be the opener?
Well, I had different reactions. I had two different reactions when I realized, that this was the opener in time. I thought it was awesome, that it was, seeing how it does exactly what I'm saying. This is a great challenge for us to stay focused and to be on it. Just for all of the natural things, playing on Monday night is huge, and for guys, particularly young guys. They've been watching Monday Night Football for their whole young life, and now they got to go ahead and perform under the circumstances. So. We're very fortunate to be playing in this setting, and hopefully we'll learn, and the lessons will be there for us to take with us the rest of the season.
What are your expectations for starting? For the rookies, you're going to start Tariq and Abe and Cross.
Well, you see, if I answered that question like that, then I would be telling you who's starting, and so we'll have to wait and see who's playing.
But is there any message you say to the rookies in preparing them if and when they start on a big game Monday night?
I like that, the way you posed the question here, a little differently than Michael did right there. No offense, but you guys are competing. But yes, yeah, we are dealing with them, and we're making it known to them, what we expect and what we've learned over the years, and how to help guys keep things in the proper perspective. See, this is performance, and so performance gets affected by stuff, and so we want to make sure that we have covered everything that would help us stay clear and poised and at our best. And so that's why it's a fantastic challenge. This is as good as you get to play after everybody else has played, on the weekend and all that. It's a blast. So it's going to be I really like the challenges of the teaching part of it and the mentality of it, and communicating with the guys and making sure that we touch all the bases and get it done for them so we can help them out.
Where do you guys feel like you guys are as a team? Obviously, the preseason, a lot of starters don't play. What people.
I think I feel like everybody else feels. We're very hopeful and excited about it, and see nothing but good stuff happening. And we have to go prepare like it and make sure that we're ready, and then go perform like it. And so I'm really excited about this team. I love the makeup. I love the way that they've come together from way back when. I love the leadership. I love the speed. I love our style in all aspects. And now we need to go out and show it and live up to that. What the expectations are. And so my expectations are very high.
I'm sure you've seen that expectations outside of the building nationally.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, well, they are not what they used to be with your team. Projected win totals, people are picking you guys to finish last. John talked about it last week, saying that you guys used to be chased and now you're the chasers. And how does that feel to you?
I don't feel like that at all. I mean, I don't feel like any part of any of that is what's true, other than the fact that that's what people think, So I'm not in that business now. I'm in the business of helping these guys get ready to play, and with all of the work that we do, and all of the mentality and the culture and the environment that we're in. We've been averaging 10 wins a year for the last 20-something years. You think I could think anything different than that? I don't. I don't see any reason my expectations should change at all. I don't care what anybody says. People have been saying stuff about teams for years. They don't know. They just they're just guessing at this point. And then we go and prove it, and we see where we are, and then we battle for whatever. win a big game in the opener or struggle and not win a big game in the opener. You got to come back and get going again and get back on track regardless. So we're preparing. It's championship game time. I'm not changing any of that thinking or any of the mentality that it takes to perform in this setting. And I'm hoping that it'll help our guys.
And going back to like talking to guys who are about to play their old team, because of the relationship a lot of you guys beyond the team, like on the staff, have with Russell in particular, does that convo have to extend to some of your coaches, or even you have to remind yourself, to not be distracted?
Yeah, Michael, this has been on the schedule for a long time. We really, the game's been, whatever they put out the schedule. So all of that conversation that's necessary with the staff and all that, we've done really well by that, and I think we're in good shape, and we're clearly communicating. Once you get past all of the hype part of it, you get down to the nuts and bolts, and that's execution and making sure our preparation is great, and that we've prepared these guys in a way where they can carry it out. And so we're deep into the topic, and we have been for some time.
One more rotation question. I got to
Sure.
do it. How is it going with Justin and Kobe at nickel? Could you play both of them on Monday?
Yeah, they're both nickels that can play in the game.
Will you play both of them?
We'll wait and see.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.